Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. March?
Here.
Mr. Ham?
Here.
Mr. Bowden?
Here.
Mr. Hack?
Here.
Okay, approval of corrections of minutes of February 8th, 2016 regular village board meeting. Any corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Trustee Hupkey and second by Trustee Bowden.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Bowden?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. March?
Yes. Next, accounts payable and payroll. Payroll for the period ending 1/16/16 was $46,482.98. Accounts payable, the general fund, $53,831.56. The motor fuel tax fund, $17,130.19. And the water and sewer fund, $54,0123, for a total of $76,362.98. Are there any questions on accounts payable or payroll?
I make a motion, we pay the bills. Second.
Been moved by Trustee Hupkey, seconded by Trustee Hack.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Bowden?
Yes.
Mr. Ham?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. March?
Yes. And there's no public comments or questions. Reports of committee. I don't believe there's a clerk or treasurer's report, correct? Police chief said he had no report. Engineer, anything?
I have no report.
Do we have any timeline on the study that we talked about for the I-57?
The water and the
utilities?
sewer.
Yeah.
By next board meeting, I think for sure. So I think 2 more weeks.
You'll have a timeline, or?
No,
you'll-
we'll
yeah.
be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I talked to him today. He said by March 4th sounds realistic.
Okay. Perfect.
I had a question on that. Are there variables when you figure that out as far as piping size and sewage size and all that? I mean, are there choices, or how does that work to determine what the volume may need to be over there?
You determine it goes by, the type of development you're putting in, and that's kind of what we're doing with this study, to figure out what type of size we would need, and if the existing infrastructure to bring it back to the plant or for the water tower would be enough to handle it. So that's what we're going through, to figure out the size and how much capacity everything would need.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I don't believe there is any old business. And there really is no new business either. Is there any questions of the press?
I wanted to bring one matter before
Yes.
the board, just briefly. It arises because at the last meeting, Donna pointed out to me that we have one property that is resulting in a number of liens. The liens have gotten up to over $6,000 now. So she showed me the liens and showed me the property, and of course I checked into this. And it's over on Governor's and, what's the corner there?
Second.
Yeah. And I checked it, and this is owned by a corporate holding company. The taxes are paid up to date. The property is worth a good sum of money. And in my view, there's absolutely no excuse for what they're doing. So I would like to just have authority to hit them with a couple of letters, or a letter indicating to them that they have to pay those liens. We want them paid up right away. We expect them to maintain the property. And, in the event they don't do it post haste, we'll consider our other legal options, which of course would be a lien foreclosure and actually foreclose on the property, which I wouldn't do right now. I'd have you approve that. But I'd like just your okay to go after them a little bit, because in looking at it, there's no excuse. This isn't a residential property where somebody is having a problem or anything like that. Just makes no sense.
And the liens are from us mowing the property
Yeah.
constantly? How long has that been going on for?
Good while.
Couple of years, yeah, several years.
Can you tag the attorney's fees on top of those liens?
Yeah, I can. We've got a provision in the ordinance. I'm hoping that, you know, with the right letter and some follow-up communication, somebody over there, wherever they are, Texas, Pennsylvania, you know, this is coming through large companies. If you get to the right person, they're gonna say, oh, yeah, we understand. We're gonna have to pay the money, and they'll just voluntarily do it. If not, then we could take the next step, if it's all right with the board.
Do we need to make this
Sounds
an action item?
good. No, I don't think so. I think if you just, you know, as long as I know
Consensus?
it's okay to do.
A consensus?
Yeah.
Is there a possibility there's other liens on that property besides, I mean, taxes, no?
No, we didn't see any.
It's clean.
Yeah, that's what I looked for, to see if there was another, particularly the taxes. Make sure the taxes were paid up, and there aren't any other liens, just ours.
So the bills we've been sending them, do we know they're going to the right place?
Yeah, I according to the
Okay.
documents, they are. And I'll follow up on that too. If they say, oh gee, we mixed it up in our offices
Yeah.
or something like that, fine. You know, but, you know, nevertheless.
But since they're paying the taxes, they know they own it.
Oh, yes, and
Okay.
also, again, this is a investment holding company. It's probably large. It's called CRE JV Mixed 15. They've got a couple of different entities, and I see the last exchange on the deed for that property was from one of their holding companies to another one of their holding companies. So, yeah, you know, this is not a group that I'm sure doesn't have, you know, substantial resources to be taking care of what they should be taking care of. It's just far away, and they obviously aren't paying any attention to it.
Anybody have a problem with that?
I do.
No.
Push. Okay,
Okay?
good.
Donna, is this the only property like this in town, or are there others?
No, but this is the only one that we've got that much outstanding
Okay.
on. And we get a lot of runaround when we've been trying to collect, and it was like, well, we didn't know we had that property, and then you get pushed somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else. So all the documents have been sent many times to these people as the liens have been put on. But this last one is over 4,000.
Yeah.
Because we were out mowing it like every week.
Yeah, it's your responsibility on their part because they just aren't paying any attention to it.
Right, it doesn't look good.
Right.
Okay. Anything else from the board?
There was the issue with the retention pond. Did that ever get resolved, or is that?
Yeah, we found out that they do own it and we have no responsibility.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we convinced them of that.
I don't know that we can convince them of that, but we can provide them with the documentation. Yeah, no, we have no responsibility back there. Nah, you know, it depends if we want to work with them in the future or whatever, but I mean, that's up to this body.
Well, are we talking, so we're talking about the retention pond out by the cemetery?
Yeah.
Meyer
Yeah.
Glen?
Meyer Glen.
Yeah.
Now, who you say, who owns it? You
The
said,
homeowners association.
oh, they do own it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that it was like somebody had bought it, some investor had bought it.
Nope, they're still
No.
in ownership of it and we have no, in fact, it's, they're required to take care of it, so.
Oh, I wonder where the story came from that somebody else owned it.
From people that were on the homeowners
Yeah.
association were the ones that told me
Yeah.
that.
Who sets the specs?
There's no evidence that it's been transferred to anybody.
Who sets the specs on how that is to be maintained?
It would have been in your subdivision
Yes, we
agreement.
did it. It's in the, redevelopment agreement,
Yeah.
subdivision agreement.
And if they don't? then
You don't want it back.
What's our next?
You don't want it back?
No.
No, I mean, we can go do it, and then, I mean, theoretically, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but theoretically, we can lien all the houses out there, but do you really want to start that battle? I mean, it's better off just telling them, you own it, fix it, you know?
Yeah, hopefully just getting it squared away as who
Yeah.
owns it, they'll take the
I
initiative
think,
and
I
do
think if
that.
they understand that they actually do own it and, you know, it's their responsibility, I think that's the best way to handle it. If they need help and wanna pitch in and we can, and Public Works has time, and that's the other part of it, to help them, we can maybe work out a financial arrangement where they pay us to do that once. You know what I'm saying? To at least get the initial cleanup done. But that thing is, it's a mess.
It's a garbage pit.
Yeah, it's a mess. So they got a few issues there.
Who's the president of the association?
I have no idea. We can find out. Are they even active? I don't think they're even active.
That I cannot say.
Yeah.
I can give you
Well,
tomorrow the sticky note that I
Yeah,
have
give me
with
the
the one
sticky note.
that contacted me.
We'll call them and ask them. So,
The water main breaks, are we seeing more this year than normal?
got a weird winter.
Yeah.
There's no frost line. Ground's heaving up
No
and down.
insulation at all. No
Huh?
snow. No snow, no insulation.
No snow, no insulation. So, yeah, it's just aging infrastructure and moving ground, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, even new stuff is cracking, and not here, but I mean in other towns.
Hmm.
It's a phenomenon of spring and fall. You wouldn't think, at least to me, weather's getting warmer and we're popping, you know, water mains, but that's the way it actually happens, so, because of the movement of the ground.
All right, so remember Saturday morning at 9 o'clock is our budget workshop. Any other announcements at all?
Yes.
You got something?
Dog tags are due the end of March. No, dog tags are due the end of February, and vehicle stickers are due the end of March.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. I'm going to move by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Ham.
Mr. Hupkey.
Yes.
Mr. Ham.
Yes.
Mr. Bowden.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.